Good morning, this is Poan Petrov, and you are listening to episode number 5 of the morning show for managers. The topic for this morning is professional vanity. Now, professional vanity is not a good or a bad thing, but it is something that is a major source for the so-called arc of distortion, that 99.9% of the managers have some kind of arc of distortion. So if you remember from some of the previous episodes, the arc of distortion gives you an idea about the difference between your good intentions and the bad impact that you might have on the people that you are working with. For example, if you want to be a very supportive manager, you care too much, you touch base with your people every so often, this might be perceived. So you have a good intention to create a positive atmosphere, safety, you are very approachable, etc., etc. But the bad impact that you might have on some of the people from your team is that you are kind of a micromanager. Nobody wants to be micromanaged. I have, for the last 20 plus years, I have never met a single person who says, I need more micromanagement in my life. There's no such person. Yet, every now and then, including myself, managers become micromanagers. They tend to be overly protective, sometimes give too much details, give too many directions, etc., etc., instead of just giving the go and making sure that the people from your team actually make the effort and figure out for themselves how to reach the target. Now, professional vanity. Now, let's go back to the topic of the professional vanity. It's not something, as I said in the very beginning, it's not something bad, because unless you have some level of professional vanity, probably you are not going to strive to be really good at what you do in your professional area. But what happens is that when the dose is not the right dose of this quality, as a matter of fact, for any other quality, so any management quality that you might have or aspire to have and develop, if you overdo it, it just becomes a weakness, no doubt about this. Now I'll give you specific examples of when this professional vanity actually makes close to impossible the work of big teams, where there's absolutely no doubt that all the managers in the room are smart, intelligent, and have strive for excellence, but yet probably because they have too much of an ego and too much of a professional vanity, somehow they clash and cannot actually do their best to work together as a team. Now, it's very normal for different managers from the different departments to have opposing interests. Let's say the people from the marketing department and the people from the sales department might have at some level a common goal, but at some level the marketing guys try to read and predict the behavior of the consumers, but in the end of the day, it is the sales guys that actually can see where the rubber meets the road and what the clients are really saying, and more importantly, what the clients are really buying. And I'll give you a very specific example. When we were working with a company where I had in the room two of the department heads fighting each other. One of them was the marketing manager and the other one was the sales manager. And what was like a barrier between them was the professional vanity that each and every one of them had. Too much of a professional vanity. So, for whatever reason, they could not reach the ambitious targets that they had in the previous quarter. And the marketing guys say that they have done their very best. They have launched very good campaigns, but the sales guys were lazy and were not actually picking up all the buzz that the marketing created. In the same time, the sales guys had another argument that these marketing guys are launching campaigns without advising with them, without asking for their opinion, without gathering any intelligence from the field, and more importantly, without explaining what the new marketing campaigns are all about, and what are the key selling propositions that are there. So it happens that the clients see the campaigns on TV, radio, and on the internet, and sometimes the clients have more information about the campaigns, more information than the sales guys. So they fight each other, and the reason is that the marketing director has a lot of professional vanity, so he does not want to listen to the sales guys as if they're beneath him. And in the opposite direction, the sales director actually doesn't really listen again. So it's a business of listening, I think, and this is where comes the advice of how to overcome the professional vanity that you or the people that you're working might have. But I'm not talking about the professional vanity of the people around you. Even if you see it, you can do, to be honest, nothing about it. The only thing that you can do about the professional vanity is the one that you have. It's not about the other people, it's about you. So if you think that the people from your team have too much of a professional vanity, and they don't listen in the way that you would like to, you can do nothing about them. You cannot change them, but what you can do is to change yourself and being a role model of starting to listen to feedback and proactively collecting feedback about what you can improve in your work. And actually, this is the first step that I would like to share with you on how to balance this professional vanity and to turn it from a weakness to something that keeps you in check. So the first thing is really to start self-reflecting about your own, not about other people's professional vanity, about your own. Isn't it too much? If you think that other people cannot get you, cannot understand you, or even that they are stupid, so it means that probably your professional vanity is out of control. So the first thing is to do some reflection, and the other thing that is very useful, and I have done it throughout the years, is to ask 2 or 3 people from your company to give you some feedback on how they perceive you, and if they can give you some advice on what you can change to improve your managerial style. So the tricky part here is who to ask for feedback. And all the people in your company fall into 3 categories. So the first category is your friends, your fans maybe. So these are not the right people to ask for feedback. So your inner circle, don't talk to them. This is the first category. The second category are the haters. So these are the people that will give negative feedback regardless of what you do. So don't talk to them. But there is a third category of people in your company. I call them the loving critics. So these are the people who care about you so much so that they are going to give you feedback, but they are not they don't have emotional attachment in your relationship, so that can be honest. So pick 2 or 3 guys from your organization who fall into this category of loving critics, and ask for feedback. What you can improve, and take it from there. Yeah. So I think this is pretty much it. Episode number 5, professional vanity. So the first thing is to recognize it within yourself and to see it that it might be the barrier for you working with the managers of other teams, but also with the people from your own team. And two ways to get this professional vanity in check is self-reflection, and the second part is ask for feedback. This is it from me. Have a good day, and talk to you soon.